Your Honor, I just want to say today that I accept this plea because my conduct was wrong.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo Glow. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celeb facts that will ruin your childhood. Number 10. Katy Perry collected celebrity hair. If we told you that there was someone out there who had a collection of hair from both Taylor Swift and Miley Cyrus, would your first thought be that it was Katy Perry or some very dedicated fan? Well, it turns out that the answer is both. And we know this because Perry told iHeartRadio back in 2013 that she had a lock of hair from both Swift and Cyrus wrapped in bows in her purse. To be clear, the locks weren't stolen. The follicles were handed over willingly by both women when the three pop stars shared a dressing room at the Grammys. Apparently, Swift and Cyrus's hair strands weren't going to be the ones that got away. Number 9. Stephen Baldwin has a Hannah Montana tattoo. Back in 2008, he ran into Miley Cyrus during a visit to the White House and mentioned that his daughters were big fans. She responded by telling him that if he got an HM tattoo, she'd get him a cameo on her show.
If you got a Hannah Montana, you'll be on the show in 10 seconds.
Stephen Baldwin agreed on the terms and got the ink. Although the HM is supposed to stand for Hannah Montana, it probably more accurately represents a huge mistake in his mind because of one tiny fact. There's no episode of Hannah Montana where he actually makes a cameo. Number 8. Drake Bell's bad choices. Drake Bell found success pretty early in life, appearing in two popular Nickelodeon shows, The Amanda Show and Drake and Josh, between the ages of 13 and 21. In 2007, Bell, flying high off his Nickelodeon success, purchased a $2 million home in Los Angeles, but he went bankrupt and the house went to the bank via foreclosure. After weathering this incident, Bell got into serious legal trouble when he was accused of behaving inappropriately towards a young fan. He eventually got 2 years probation after pleading guilty to felony and misdemeanor charges.
I accept this plea because my conduct was wrong.
Number 7. Woody Harrelson's dad was a hitman. Woody Harrelson is arguably best known for playing the lovable Woody Boyd on Cheers, a man who wouldn't hurt a fly. But while the actor has a reputation for playing that gentle spirit, his father's legacy is tied to something much darker. In 1979, Charles Harrelson allegedly shot U.S. District Judge John H. Wood Jr. He had supposedly been hired to commit the act by a criminal who was looking to avoid a harsh sentence. Although Charles Harrelson claimed he didn't actually go through with the hit, he was still given 2 life sentences and spent the rest of his life in prison. Number 6. Drew Barrymore was in rehab at a young age. Before her first birthday, Barrymore began her career in show business with an appearance in a dog food commercial at 11 months old. By the time she was 7, her role in E.T. made her one of the biggest child stars in the world. Unfortunately, she was sent down a dark spiral after that famous role. Barrymore had a history of attending parties at nightclubs and using illegal substances at a young age. Eventually, Barrymore was placed in rehab.
Either you make it out or you don't, and it's very scary.
Thankfully, the actress was able to overcome these dark times and rebounded to have a successful career. Number 5. Tim Allen could have gone to jail for life. It's pretty well known that actor/comedian Tim Allen spent time in prison before he was famous. But what many might not know is that there was a scenario where he never became famous because he's still in prison. While Allen was traveling through an airport in the 1970s, security discovered that he was carrying a large amount of an illegal substance. The crime was so severe that he could have been in jail for his entire life.
After 8 months, I got used to it.
Outside of a DUI charge in 1998, the actor has stayed out of trouble and firmly in the Hollywood spotlight. Number 4. Jennette McCurdy and her mother. As Jennette McCurdy was gaining fans with her role on iCarly, the actress was struggling to deal with her mother, Deborah McCurdy. The actress has publicly stated that her mom mistreated her throughout her childhood. Not only did Jennette McCurdy perform a one-woman show about her terrible experiences, but she wrote a book about her awful history with her mother. Both were titled, "I'm Glad My Mom Died."
I was more concerned with how to keep my mom looking good than I was with expressing my true emotional reality.
Number 3. Angelina Jolie made a dark request. Throughout her teenage years, Jolie struggled a lot with her mental health. When she reached an extremely low point in her 20s, she hired a hitman to end her life. but the person she was connected with decided to talk with her instead. Their conversation helped Jolie tremendously and encouraged her to abandon the dark path she'd laid out for herself.
But tomorrow I could be home doing nothing, looking for a job, and completely redoing myself as a person.
While the story sounds like something straight out of a movie, it was this true story that altered Jolie's life. Number 2. Elvis Presley was a blonde. The king of rock and roll was famous for the changes that happened to his body throughout his career, but the one change that many fans might not be as aware of is the color of his hair. The truth is that Presley was blonde throughout his childhood. However, he decided a major change was in order as he got closer to stardom. Instead of hair dye, shoe polish was initially his key to getting his jet black locks. The process clearly worked, because legions of fans can't imagine him with golden locks even for a second. Hopefully, anybody who wants to repeat his example goes with some more legitimate hair dye. Number 1. Judith Barrs's short life. Judith Barrs was a young actress who appeared in almost 70 commercials, as well as making guest appearances on television shows like Punky Brewster. But most of us remember her voiceover work as Ducky in The Land Before Time and Anne Marie in All Dogs Go to Heaven. While Barrs was a part of many treasured childhood memories, she was struggling with her own mental health due to a harsh home environment. Before the actress and her mother could get out of the situation, her father ended all 3 of their lives.
Why did no one answer her cries for help?